So let's repair the footman. So here I need a clip. So I haven't picked up the clip yet. I still have that out somewhere in the garage. But that won't be an issue there. So what we need to do is on the footman, there's a hole in the bottom, and then there's a screw that goes here. Same on the treadle. There's a hole and then a screw on the side, and it's broken. And this is this is plastic, and I guess for a while it holds up, but I don't like plastic, so we're gonna unscrew this. So getting this unscrewed is fairly easy. It is a tiny flathead, so just a little screw. Now we need to push out this piece here. So I just pushed from below, and now I've got a piece of plastic here, and it has a hole in it, a hole right here. So what I want to do is I want to replace that, and you want it to make sure that when it's done that there's some flexible leather between here and here, and when this is at its lowest point, so there's going to be about an inch between, like that. So I'm going to hold this up off the floor just a little bit, and that's where it's going to stop. But what I'm going to use is leather treadle sewing machine belt. It's a little bit narrower in diameter, but it'll still work just fine. And so I'm gonna, it's an older belt, still good, so I'm just gonna trim a piece off. Trim that end piece off because we don't need it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in, put my finger underneath it, then take my screw, and then I'm just going to screw it in, and it'll go in and through the leather. Okay, so if I just pick it up with the leather, it's there. It's not coming off. The next thing is to take this, put it up into the hole that was previously there, underneath. So that's a little bit too long, but not by much. So I'm just going to take a little trim off of that. We're going to refit that. Okay, and that's plenty off the floor. So now I got to go get my screw and we'll screw it in. I've got this screw put in, just started. Take this piece of leather here, put it in the hole underneath. So I could do it this way and then just hold that in place and screw it in. And because it's already centered basically in the hole, this will just bite right through it and hold it in place. There we go. Because the diameter of the leather is a little bit smaller than the hole, if I have to replace it, it'll just fall right out. So you can see there's flex, but it's still stiff. So then I can just raise this up, put this on the axle, and then now we're this far off the floor. And this is at its lowest point right here, and we're still off the floor. And that's what you want. And that is how you fix the Footman leather if you have a plastic piece. And you can buy, if you want, fairly cheap, the rounded leather band on Amazon or whatever, and buy a roll of it, and it'll last you forever. It'll last as long as the wheel. And if this ever breaks, you just cut a new piece off and put a new one on. If you don't have that and you have a strip of thick leather, you can cut a strip of thick leather. It can still be kind of a square, and as long as it'll fit in the hole, it'll work too. And so that's how you repair one of these. That goes for any of the Ashford wheels that use these. And if you have the ones that have the flat piece of leather, that's even better, because you can get a flat piece of leather or even a piece of canvas and do this heavy piece of canvas and do the same thing. So there you have it.